Hello, and welcome. My name is Rich. This is Champions Online, a superhero MMO based on the Champions RPG, a pen and paper roleplay game that involves a lot of maths as far as I can remember. I have briefly looked at the roleplay rules, but not recently, and it didn't really appeal. I'm not someone who's good at maths, so being required to do lots of it in order to play the game is something of a turn-off. Anyway, this is technical issues. Can't see. Wearing full armor at the moment. I wonder whether costumes. Yeah, here we are. This is a bit better of a view. That's the first costume I came up with. This is a slightly more heavily armored version with appropriately named Tesla costume pieces or armor pieces. This is as heavily armored as I can make her, or well, as fully armored. And this is an incomplete set of costume pieces that are purchasable by in-game currency that you earn, and I haven't finished buying all the pieces of it. Anyway, we are on Monster Island, sort of Kaiju Island in combination with Island of Dr. Moreau. So Moreau's lab is down here. I think Moreau is I don't remember the exact term. It's Creative Commons. He's available for free to use as a concept, like as a character concept, because the rights to the character have lapsed into public domain. That's the word. That's the term, rather. Public domain. I think Moreau is public domain, so that's why he exists in this game. He doesn't create his... well, what the game calls manimals. He doesn't create them using... I just got shot at by some air missile launchers. He doesn't create them via surgery. I think he creates them via mutagenic chemical, which makes a bit more sense. Or at least it's vague enough to be plausible, you know, slightly. Because it is literally impossible with given our current understanding of science and biology to create hybrids of humans and animals, because the tissues would reject and the life form would die horribly, but probably relatively quickly. Probably don't need these, do I? Let's discard them. And I don't think that I need access code floor 2 either anymore. I don't know what that was even from. So yes, I was talking about the island that we're currently on. It's also, as you can see, a volcanic island, and to a degree a jungle island. Well, not to a degree. It's largely a jungle island. It's just this region here has weird outgrowths of volcanic crystal. That I don't know the name of. I say Kaiju Island because there are a range of giant monsters. There's a giant robot dinosaur that roams this area. This region here is the entrance for, or I think somewhere around here, because it's when you're in this area that you get the countdown for it. There's this universe's version of Godzilla, because it's a giant reptile that breathes radioactive breath. And there's also a giant flaming ape. I don't mean that in that it's irritating, although it is. It is literally on fire. I've got a mission here, but I'm not entirely certain what I'm supposed to be doing. Destroy spectrometers, which are probably objects. No. These things? Are these spectrometers? No, they're not even targetable. What the hell are your spectrometers, eh, chaps? Target your big bird either, can I? Bloody pressing the button. Why aren't you letting me activate the power? I wonder where he's going. Ah, that's a spectrometer. There we go. Mission complete. We do also have... I was picking up... What are they? Serpentine network reports. Whacking day. Reference to The Simpsons there, very nice. I wonder whether these drop network reports, because I've seen them drop gear before. picked up 3 at once. That's nice. And then there's Lemurians over here, progenitor and a devolved Lemurian, which is basically just... Well, I mean, I don't want to use the word basic twice, but it's the most basic version of a Lemurian you can get, because that form of Lemurian is a devolved form, quote-unquote devolved. I think they refer to themselves as devolved forms. But they might also, I mean, you could probably also refer to them as uncursed, because the humanoid form of the Lemurian is apparently a cursed form. Andrith the Golden seems to have had something to do with that, although the game hasn't quite given us that much information about how that happened, what he did. I find it amusing that those floating mines that just got launched at me have health bars, and so it is possible to destroy them with damage before they go off. Oh, it is targetable. Oh no, it's this wretched thing confusing me. Alright. More, who are these? Oh, these are Lemurians, aren't they? Okay. I thought there were more Viper. You have done well. That Viper is here is not good news, but also not unexpected. I have spoken with Dr. Silverback, and we have developed a plan to deal with them. Survey disarray. We've been trying to figure out the Lemurians' strange Ignatium technology for some time, but our lizard-faced foes are simply inexplicable. This is collect 20 survey reports in Androthal. Didn't I just do that? You did a great job discovering Viper's expedition and delaying their research, but soon more scientists and more equipment will arrive. We must dissuade them from this research. To that end, I have come up with a plan. You will get flawed Ignatium from a malfunctioning device my scouts spotted at a lava dig site. Surely that needs a qualifier. A lava dig site or the lava dig site? These crystals are incapable of channeling magical energies like normal Ignatium. Once you've done this, use the formula Dr. Silverback created to make these defective crystals look like functional crystals at the Lemurian alchemy station near the flawed crystal. Finally, swap the good crystals for your defective crystals and throw Viper's research off track. Yeah, that's a good plan. Yeah, it's repeatable. I thought so. Good work. I never had a moment's doubt you'd be able to pull this mission off. And we've also got a hand in over here for Kwame, so we'll go and we'll nip over there and give him that. And that's probably all. Well, I don't know. It might well be all of Kwame's missions. Oh yes, 15 minutes in. I always forget to do this, but I've remembered now. 15 minutes into my stream. Oh, hello. You're almost... Are you, Mad Dragon Master. Didn't do too well there, obviously. Fell over. The purpose of this stream is to take a look at the stories that the game is telling and analyze them, nitpick them, make fun of them, enjoy them. Hey Ravenforce, welcome along. And I am looking at the stories the game is telling because I think that those are a strong point for the game, along with the character customization. And I think that the game is underappreciated. You'll be flying around nearby shortly. Oh, was it you, Mad Dragon Master? Something? There is no telling what the cunning crooks at Viper are concocting next. We desperately need to get our hands on those Viper Serpentine Network reports. These Serpentine Network reports... That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? It's a bit... Oh, no, it wasn't you. Okay. I don't know why he needed to repeat the term immediately after saying it. It's a bit awkward, isn't it? Oh, hey, there you are. Cool. Riding a vacuum cleaner. Karen.exe. How's your... Oh yeah, it's quite Karen hair, isn't it? Do you have... Oh, you can't really... The ideal Karen power set would be Sonic, like, Scream power, but you can't really do that in the game. There are some Sonic powers, but none that give you like a scream. Stormbringer, chilled form. So you use air, presumably, or the wind attacks. Oh, right, yes, wind breath. Can you have some of the wind powers go from your forehead rather than your fists or hands or chest? Because there is the option for some powers to have it either forehead, chest, fists, or hands, palms, I think. Not that there's ever very much difference between palms and fists, as far as I can tell. Cool. Very clever. Getting around the absence of sonic attacks. Need a target, yeah, of course. These Serpentine Network reports... There is a sonic screen, but decided on wind. Yeah. Fair enough. The Serpentine Network reports are going to prove to be fascinating reading. We've got Viper on the ropes now, and we owe it all to you, technical issues. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so there is a... a sonic, like a hyper scream, I think it's called. Well, Unleashed Rage might be it, but I don't think so. What set would it be in? It's not destructive. Hyper voice, there we are. I don't know what it looks like, I've never used it. There's also Oh, is that in Might? Yes. There's also Call to Battle, which is kind of a sonic attack, and finally Howl is another possibly appropriate ability if you were wanting to have only vocal attacks. I suppose a Karen, you could also have like claw attacks from the bestial set. Oh, I thought that was a movement power that started you moving with a... It's calling your manager. Is that a supergroup that you created just so that you could have... Yes. It's a supergroup because, yeah, when you've got... that's a title, and you've got the character name, and then underneath is... Or I think you can show... Yes, World Burner as a title. I think you... Does it automatically show? Like, can you alter whether your supergroup shows under your name? You probably can, but yours is obviously showing, and is calling your manager. That's very good. Did you go for Gaunt Cheeks? Well, very good anyway. I appreciate the effort you've gone to. We are going to go and do the old switcheroo. Very 90s. Your eyes are glowing red. Just like mine. Mine I chose because it's reminiscent of the Red Ring of Death off of Xbox 360s, because Red Ring of Death technical issues. Slightly... it's a very ugly outfit, isn't it? Well done. Karen was inadvertently created by Mechanon. Ah. Okay. Well, I'm off to continue messing with the Lemurians. This is the correct place. I wonder if this is the non-functional... Yes, it must be. The non-functional Ignatium. Did he just walk into the lava, try and get closer to me, and then die from the heat effect? Idiot. I'm close enough to be set on fire by the lava. Okay. Where am I supposed to be going with this now? Ah, right, yes. Find a lab or something. Workbench, something like that. That certainly looks... Well, I mean, it just looks like a fancy glowing sideboard with bits of broken rubble on it, doesn't it? Doesn't really look like a magic workbench. Where do these guys keep coming from? There's such a lot of them. I wouldn't have thought that... my lightning, ball lightning chaps would spread that far. Oh, they've got 4 of them. Oh, jeez, okay. I have to fight my way across the camp again. Probably, no, I'm gonna have to. Would you please... Okay, well it's destroyed now, so it can't mess with my targeting anymore. Aha! Viper successfully messed with. My only regret is that I cannot be there to laugh at Viper scientists wasting time working with fake crystals. I wonder how long it will take Viper scientists to realize they've been duped. Hopefully, comrade technical issues, it will be some time indeed. Yes, hopefully indeed. Survey, oh yeah, we've already done that one, haven't we? Perk complete. What was the perk? Echinocus Shores, I think? Let's find out. Oh, it's not on the list. Anyway, let's go down and see if we can handle Moreau's lab with our new build that we came up with over the weekend, or that I came up with over the weekend to handle lots and lots of damage. You probably saw me tanking quite well there. Well, I say tanking. Tanking as a term as it relates to MMOs and RPGs is a different thing. It's quite a specific term. It means pulling aggro or aggression, but everyone calls it aggro, from nearby mobs and holding it on yourself. My powers, because I am playing... That's interesting. Big ol' loop through there for some reason. Because I'm playing solo, none of my character, none of these powers have the threat generating advantage. You did well. It was interesting to see a sentinel tank at work. Yeah, I probably don't need to be sentinel. But I just wanted the extra survivability because I knew I was going to be up against some quite huge amounts of incoming damage. Law nearby. Yes, I mean, I've been here before, so I've probably read this already. Yeah. Well, I suppose I'll read it again. Oh, higher up. Here. Yes. I found this, but I don't remember whether I have read it on stream or not. So, this radio is locked onto a strange signal. From what you can tell, it's an endless stream of non-repeating binary machine code. What makes it even stranger is that, according to the settings, the signal's point of origin seems to be on or near the surface of the moon. Yeah, I think I found that, and I also found this, which is a satellite tower that they just... Because there are other satellite towers with exactly the same form elsewhere. Maybe not here, but certainly in Canada, that look like this, but are just a bit smaller. And you can tell that this has been sized up because the railing is not remotely useful for an average-sized human. Well, I mean, technical issues is about 6 foot tall, which is tall for a woman, but perhaps not tall for a superhero, and certainly within human norms. And this guardrail is probably about, I want to say 9 or 10 feet tall. So not even useful for a space marine, for example. It might be useful for perhaps a dreadnought from 40k, which is about 14 feet tall. But not useful for humans. Anyway. Oh yeah, it's over here, wasn't it? Got a bit confused, turned around. Let's enter Moreau's lab. Pretty incredible laziness as well, really. I mean, I don't know how much trouble it would have taken to create.
Somebody get a straitjacket. I warned Henderson. Lay off the Tracy booze, so you're gonna wind up a slobbering half-wit, but oh no.
I do wonder how difficult it would have been to why can't I? Oh right, because I don't have enough energy. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know how much trouble it would have been to create a new I don't remember what the term would be, but object, I suppose, specifically for that. So that the guardrail was the correct size and the ladder was the correct size. already have this mission? Does he give a mission? There are many parts of CO which are outdated. It's like how it never rains in Millennium City. Yeah. Sorry, I heard a Discord noise, and I was just checking to make sure, or I'm just checking to make sure that it's not someone directly messaging me to tell me something relevant. It's not, so no worries. Or there are no kids in Millennium City. Well, I mean, there are a number of games where there are just no kids. I assume that they're trying to desperately to avoid the question of or the possible issues related to harming children in games. There are some in an adventure pack. There are kids in an adventure pack, but nowhere else in the game. They are being sacrificed to the kings of Edom. Oh, the one that you do with... Oh, that's right, there are, aren't there? The one that you do with witchcraft. There's one map, one indoor zone in the whole adventure pack, in the whole adventure pack as well, isn't there? It's just the one internal zone where a bunch of, it's not even children, it's spirits of kids, or like their souls or something, that have been taken there and are being held like in a... The theme of the zone or the dungeon that they're in is misery, and like they're being kept there and being kept miserable as a power source or something. I don't remember. I mean, we're going to get there eventually. Rainbows runs up to the and explodes into a god. Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but nobody watching who hasn't played the adventure pack will know what's going on. We'll get there. We'll get there someday. Why don't I have enough energy to use the ability? I've really got a problem with this build's energy. Yeah. I mean, actually getting into combat starts generating me energy. It's just, I don't know, I guess I'm fighting against habits that I've developed over the past 2 months playing a different build. Stop sticking, stop it! I think it's just this game that struggles with button sticking, or at least quite as badly as this. Wow. I mean, again, why are these explosive? Maybe it's a deterrent for people to stop people from breaking out or trying to break out. But it doesn't seem to have bothered them remotely. So now that you mention it, yeah, it is, and have reminded me, explosions used to really hurt. Now that you've reminded me that there are kids in a small section of the game, it makes it incredibly odd that they wouldn't include them anywhere else in the game. Like, not even Millennium City or Vibora Bay, which are both residential areas, or contain residential areas. It's inconsistent, which makes it very odd. Kind of annoying. Wow, he's really beefed himself up, hasn't he? Stop that. Come on, punch up for me. Make things easier. Come and get me. Useless boggins. Is he still dicking about in here? Always hated that place. Yeah, it's not a fun place to be, especially when you're not built for tanking. The dry ship boosters are, I mean, for my money, the dry ship boosters are a huge pain and probably the most irritating part. Because, not just because they give a huge boost to the damage of the opponents that you're facing, who already do quite a lot of damage and can take quite a lot of damage, but they continually run off to get boosts of it, so they keep running out of range and out of groups, so that AoE attacks don't do as much. Thrasher, Brickbuster are gigantic, yeah. Well, does each boost of Dryshire increase the model size by a certain amount? Presumably up to a limit, but... not sure, would have to test. Because I know that they get at least 2 sizes bigger. Hey there, Brickbuster. Stop pushing me around. It's super annoying. Well, probably the easiest way to test it, now that I think about it, is if you got a character who had the higher, the correct level of arms or science or whichever skill it is that you need, so that you're not relying on mobs to do the thing that you want them to do. They probably won't. Why is his push stronger? I swear other guys, I can resist the push, like I can move against it. So he's just increased in size. 1 step. I wonder if he'll run back and do it again. Yeah. No, he hasn't increased in size a second time. These guys on the dry ship? I think they might be. pretty beefy already. Yeah. I think they probably are. They do certainly seem to be bigger than normal. As standard within the mission. That. Would it be nice if control powers actually worked and did something so that you could, like, reasonably have a control power in your setup and then hit someone with that control power if you didn't want them, for example, running off and getting boosted by whatever. No, Cryptic didn't want control to be a viable playstyle. Preach, LMAO, yeah. DCUO's got a pretty decent control strategy. Every power set is either... I feel very strongly about CC and CO, yeah. Every power set in DCUO is either healing, control, or tank set, and everyone, and depending on which power set you've chosen, you can either be that or damage. And there's a bunch of control powers that all work really well and that look really cool. Or it's support or healing. I think there might be 4 actually, now that I think about it. I've not really ever paid very much attention to the alternate types of power in DCUO because I always play as DPS. Because I'm always playing solo. Too late there. Also in DCUO, when you hit the block button, it goes, oh, you're blocking. Okay, great. We'll reduce the damage. There isn't any of this bullshit about, like, block early so that you reduce the effects even more. Like, it either blocks it or it doesn't. Which I prefer, frankly, because I'd rather be trying to get attacks in than paying attention to what people are doing in terms of, like, the attacks that they're... Oh, there he is. He's gotten enormous, hasn't he? He's almost in a tank buster outfit. He's not quite to the point of looking like Black Talon, though, is he? Yeah, I find it very irritating that there are attacks in this that you have to block early or they'll still hit you, like Tangle Coil. Well, at least when it's being used on me by an enemy. Tangle Coil Launcher, I have to block early or it will still have some amount of effect even if I'm like blocking when it actually hits. Like, if I block a little bit late, well, like within a second or about a second before it hits, and then take my finger off block, it will still hit me with a control effect that just fucking really irritates me. It's like, I held block on when the thing hit me, fucking let me evade the effect. Yeah, block has to charge up. Blocking early helps a ton against so many different things. What irritates me about this specifically is because my experiences trying out builds in the powerhouse on the test server. One of the supervillains you can face in the test server is Black Talon, along with Alan Poe? Something Poe and Medusa. Kevin Poe, except player powers sometimes. Definitely understand the frustration. Yeah, so I like to test power builds out in the powerhouse, and it's generally more useful to test out against supervillains than against huge amounts of low-level mobs because of the incoming damage amounts. Like, if you're against 15 small mobs, they'll do more damage to you than one supervillain. And so I feel like fighting the supervillains is a bit more representative of how a build will fare. And with Black Talon, he spams so many abilities back to back that it's very, very difficult to stay near him and do damage to him. Because he's got Tangle Coil Launcher, he's got a bunch of attacks that throw you around, and he uses them so close together that if you're not a tank build, you have to spend most of the time blocking, and so the fight takes fucking ages, regardless of whether you've got a damage over time ability. I mean, it takes a bit less time if you've got a dot or several dots, but like if you're... So I don't usually bother with him, but it still really irritates me.
The formula I will administer shall make you powerful beyond your wildest dreams.
I expect nothing less, Moreau, after what I paid you. But you better do it quickly, because it looks like you have company.
Follow me and leave those fools to die at the hands of my Manimal Legion and our Viper allies.
Oof. Oh, that's really cool of you. Thanks, game. Only have me trigger the cutscene when I'm actually inside the room, and then have patrols walk up close enough to you when you're inside the room after triggering the cutscene to start targeting you and attack you. That's really great design, isn't it? Thanks, guys. Oh, that was weird. So I guess I'm just... Basically, I'm still a bit salty about the last time I tried to fight Black Talon. Because, like, his control powers work just fine. Enemy control powers don't give you, the player, any kind of bonus against control effects. Like, player control powers do with enemies. So if you're... So I've spoken frequently about control and how it's not great and annoying in the game. And the reason for this is that, and I think I may have mentioned, you should do, but some are bugged. Okay. The reason for control powers not really being viable for most players, almost any player at almost any time in Champions Online, is that when you hit an enemy with a control power, they gain a stacking buff against control effects that goes up to 3, and once it gets to maximum number of stacks, that is 3 stacks, control powers basically don't work. They don't restrict movement on characters, or enemies rather, and so after that point you're basically relying on the damage that the abilities do, and control powers don't really do very much damage at all. So it's really weird that... What's healing him? It's really weird that Cryptic put control powers in the game, but then made them shit. And non-viable. And Kaizerin, the current dev, who's been put in place, the one dev that Perfect World Entertainment have decided to put in place, has also not done anything about adjusting this. Like, if that debuff, or buff rather, that enemies get when they are hit with control powers was just removed from the game, like no longer in contention, control as a playstyle would become viable, I think. I mean, I don't... As I've said before, I'm no expert on game design or even on this game, but it seems to me that if that buff that enemies can get was just not present, it would make parts of the game that they have built in actually functional. It's like, why even put the things in? Sips tea sipping intensifies, yeah. Why even put the thing in the game if you're going to render it pointless? I mean, I guess it kind of has been rendered slightly viable. A couple of endgame content fights called Cosmics, which I think are basically like raids, except... Well, no, not really. Cosmic fights are one fight against one enemy. It's not like a raid, like in WoW, where you fight a whole sequence of difficult bosses. You just fight the one. They're open world though, I think, or at least some of them are. So you can go along and join in. Not that you'll be very popular if you don't brush up on what you're supposed to be doing during the fight and accidentally cause problems because you were playing it wrong. But so Cosmics aren't really like raids, I don't think, but they are endgame fights, endgame content, and at some point after the changeover from Cryptic to Perfect World Entertainment, one, maybe a couple of the of those cosmic fights got reworked so that control powers were required. So the one that I know about is Kigatilic, who is a frost demon god or something. Who has 4 huge demon ice dogs around him. And apparently if even one of those dogs gets involved in the fight, everyone will die. So they all need controlling and stopping from getting involved. One person with control powers is enough, apparently, as long as they know what they're doing. To keep all 4 out of the fight. Yeah, Kujibo fight, CCing the hearts, and Kigatilic's hounds, dog sitter. Okay, so 2 fights, according to Raven Force, require. Oh, hello, Chimera's down there. 2 fights in the whole game, and this is end game content as well. So you won't come across these fights if you're not max level. Or you probably won't be able to meaningfully contribute to these fights unless you're max level. In the whole game, require the use of control powers, and other than that, all of the control powers in multiple different power sets are meaningless. Or basically meaningless. Might as well be meaningless. Boratora creations. Oh, so even this special, unique Chimera manimal does not have unique info. Oh, I've pulled him already. Oh no, I didn't pull him. My mistake. I was fucking holding the block button. That's probably the hyper voice power, isn't it? Yeah. Sounds real weird. It doesn't really sound like a scream or a shout or anything at all. this is taking a while, but it is considerably easier than against the Hjörg Coruscator. Also in DCUO, speaking about blocks and their effectiveness. Are you? You're a really janky creation. Look, you've got a hoof and a claw foot, and then a 5-fingered human hand, and a 5-clawed bear hand. Seems like you're a bit unfocused. But yeah, speaking about the difference again a little bit about between DCUO blocking and Champions Online blocking. In DCUO, when you block, that means you're blocking. There's no like charge up. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all. For the block, with it getting more effective over time, thus cutting down on your effective time of being able to do damage in the fight. And also, when you hit it, like when you tap the button to block, if you're under a control effect, it breaks you free immediately, or like after a couple of taps. There's no like charge bar like there is in this, like, where you have to keep pressing F over and over again to break free. Like, DCUO isn't even that much, didn't even come out that much after Champions Online either. Like, it was maybe a couple of years, I think 2011. Odd that some of his voice lines have some of the lines he's giving are voice lines, some of them are in speech bubbles, and some of them are both or one or the other. Like, what's going on with the consistency of this? Really irritating that that hyper voice doesn't have like any kind of telegraph to it. Like, so you can't block it in advance. You just have to wait until it happens and then get blown backwards.
I'll kill you now, superhero, and then feast on your foes.
There we go. I was hoping that he'd drop something, but he hasn't. Down into caves, interesting. What's up here? Passage to the lab. Now, I wonder... Passage to the caves. Moreau locked the door, there must be another way down. Through here, so that would actually have been a necessary fight. BRB. To the pit. Okay. Can I go this way? I can. Is it still locked? Or maybe it would have been possible to sneak past. I mean, he seemed as though he was distracted by the presence of the rats, but maybe the door wouldn't have been usable if he was still up. It's entirely possible. Why am I letting Viper dudes out? Oh well, whatever. Why would you need spikes on the top of your hut? So keep flying into that fire. Defeat 1,000 man-animal hybrids, or manimals. Oh, welcome back. That was odd. I wonder why he bounced off me. I wasn't holding block up. I wonder whether I should just pull the whole room and deal with them all like that. Oops. That wasn't intentional. At least there's no Dreicher down here, or at least so far, anyway. Knock on wood. Is there any Dreicher down here? Would you tell me if there was? Or would you leave it as a surprise? Raven Forces left the chat. So I'm going to take that as indicating that there is Dreicher down here. There also appears to be a variety of mushrooms. What fun. It's going quite deep, isn't it? All of these tunnels have been sloping down. Or every time there's been a slope, it's been going down. I wonder what the ventilation of the place is like. I find it hilarious that all the rats have some kind of debuff that spawns more rats on you. Or maybe it's a power, I'm not entirely sure how it works. But I find it hilarious that they spawn and then immediately die because they've got way less health. Pro tip, if you can, focus on the weedy scientist first while avoiding white rhino. Then go for rhino. Okay. Fair enough. The weedy scientist is presumably Moreau. Ah, we're actually at the fight now. Okay. This is the final room. White Rhino. It's really weird that he's got digitigrade legs. And such long digitigrade legs as well. Info. Lucas Quintebe, an accomplished thief, stole a legendary White Rhino idol that would change his life forever. No shit. The idol transformed Lucas into a manimal, half rhino and half man. He has since become the White Rhino, which allows him to undertake much more dangerous heists. His only opposition are the many heroes that dare to stop him. It's odd to say only opposition and then many heroes. It's like his only opposition implies Bap's description. His only opposition implies a small number is not lore accurate. Okay. Well, I mean it's game lore, but it's not RPG lore, I guess. A renegade among renegades, Dr. Moreau is perhaps the most unprincipled biologist working for Viper today. In his work uplifting animals and imbuing humans with animalistic abilities and qualities, he hasn't hesitated to inflict whatever harm is necessary to get the job done. Necessary. Other scientists long ago learned to ignore the screams coming from his laboratories because they know Dr. Moreau prefers to work without anesthesia. That's stupid. That is frankly stupid. Unnecessary. I mean, all of his surgeries that transform humans into animals or uplift animals are unnecessary, but doing it without anesthesia just makes things more difficult and less likely to work. Like, if your patient is feeling... Oh, here we go.
You should feel the effects of my enhancement immediately. Your strength will be off the charts. But you may experience some difficulty controlling your
That's
rage.
fine by me, Doc. And looky here, we have the perfect guinea pig to test it out on.
Try to keep the hero in one piece, White Rhino. I have plans for the corpse.
So get the scientist first, is it? No wonder Demogod hates him. Everyone hates him. How am I supposed to get him first if he keeps running all over the place? I mean, I suppose it helps that I've got a ranged power set. But still, can I back him into a corner, or will he just run straight past us, regardless of the physicality of our... No, he's just fucking run straight past us when through spaces shouldn't really be able to let him through. Is it really that necessary to get Moreau first, not Rhino? Like, it would be much easier if I could just for perk. Oh. Alright, well I suppose that's a story beat, isn't it? Because Because Moreau runs after you take out... Oh, right, so he actually leaves if you take out White Rhino? Okay. Understandable. I wonder why Rhino's just dicking about there. I mean, it's convenient. I don't know what I've done to Rhino, but I'm here for it. Suck it, Rhino. And Moreau. Pair of knobheads. Will the effect wear off if I move? Why is he running back to me? Idiot. Oops. Dang. I even held block on. Oh, so he took damage and the effect was broken. That's a shame. Held the block on. Why? Why is he still knocking me over? Oh. Not now, apparently. Incredibly inconsistent. Keep forgetting there's a the before Vanilla Jester. No worries. I'm not quite sure how Vanilla Jester as a name got taken. It might just be that it was me ages ago and I forgot the password, but I have tried getting Twitch to send password reset emails for I'm sure I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm sure I'm the only one as well. I mean, I've tried getting Twitch to send emails for password reset emails for Vanilla Jester, the what's the word I'm looking for? Same here with Lucky Ducky. I think I got locked out of it when Justin TV got switched over. Maybe. Why the hell Moreau's rat guards? Oh, okay. Stop complaining about not being a soldier. If you deal in death, you should be prepared for it to visit you. So, I mean, yeah, I've tried having Twitch send password reset emails for Vanilla Jester. I'm pretty sure no one else uses the name. I think it's pretty unique online as a name. It won't send emails to any of the email addresses that I might have used to set it up, to register for it, and I don't know why. And I can't really be bothered. I don't know what else to do. It's not that I can't be bothered. I don't like making phone calls, and also it would probably be to America, and I'm in the UK, and I don't. Wretched things, go away. I think it's fairly safe to say that this would have been impossible with my previous build. So yeah, I don't know why I can't have Vanilla Jester. I would be streaming on Vanilla Jester instead of the Vanilla Jester because it's a bit easier. Team even when it's local and even when it's my own family. Yeah, I don't really like phone calls in general. So if a phone call to tech support is what it would take, I don't really want to, especially considering it probably wouldn't be a local call. How did he hit me? I was down a ridge. Ooh, maybe he's bugged down there. No, damn it. I was hoping he'd gotten bugged again. Evidently not. How did I get set on fire? I wasn't anywhere near the fire then. Oh, stop it, White Rhino, you piece of shit! Jeff Bezos is rich enough to have an international toll-free tech support, so if he doesn't, he's being greedy. I feel like this fight is kind of bullshit. Rhino's spamming an ability that's a huge pain in the arse. Shouldn't keep hitting me. Sometimes his charge hits me and I move, regardless of how long I've been holding down block. Sometimes it doesn't. Like, it's inconsistent. Sometimes he doesn't have the charge up thing on above his head. Sometimes he does. Fucking tired of this. I'm gonna be so satisfied when I defeat you. Nearly got him. Hurrah! Right. Now then. How will you like it now I'm actually facing you properly? You piece of shit. Has he dropped anything? Yes. Oh, God damn it. Let's go and pick this up before it disappears. Like with Demo Guard. That was enormously irritating. But at least it's done now. Advice for anyone watching, don't do it solo. It's not worth it. Get someone to help. Or at least, if you're trying for the perk, get some help. I probably could have managed if it was just, if I was just taking out White Rhino. You have done something today no manimal will ever forget. I only hope you erase from your mind's eye the horrors you saw in that terrible place. Stress call. Technical issues. Your assistance here has changed the future of my kind forever, but a hero's work is never done. My scouts have alerted me to a distress call. A submarine on its way to quell a civil war in Lemuria has fallen into dark waters. Your crime computer has the details. If anyone can save them, it is you. Technical issues. Okie dokie. So I'm going to give Arvad Alone and Dethroned a try. I don't know whether I'll be able to manage it or not. By the way, oh, I've got quite a lot of stuff, haven't I? Are these worth very much? They are level 34. Good advice. Don't go it alone. Support networks are necessary for health. Feedback eyepiece. Probably not really worth it because there aren't any slots for putting enhancements in. Anyway. Want a healer for Mandragore. What, even with my amount of and DPS? Okay, so I mean, I'll give it a shot. I'm okay with it taking a while. Well, up to a limit. I'm not okay with it taking an hour and a half. Mostly on a mid-level boss. Go further than I did solo. If this goes like the Underthal one against the higher Coruscator rather. I'll just give up because I can't be bothered with that. But I don't know. I might be able to manage it. Why has this debris suddenly started to float? That's weird. Priming itself for explosion, yeah, maybe. That wasn't an explosive one either. Come on, come and get me. Is it more difficult than this? Does it get more difficult? Or is this it? Because this is not seeming like as difficult as I was worried. Just mob size.
Alas, I fear you are too late. When defeat seemed inevitable, I sent the Bronze King to activate the Mandragolor. Stop it, or we're all doomed.
Mandragolor, okay then. There aren't any of the villain level mobs either. These are all henchmen, which is probably why it seems easy. Like they're going down pretty easily. I'm basically, the build that I've got at the moment is basically, it seems pretty good. I don't know about ideal. I don't want to make a claim of that level, but it seems like, oh here we are, here's some villain level chaps. Seems like my build is pretty good for, oh this is a lot, isn't it? For dealing with large groups of mobs. Bear in mind also that I'm still on hybrid roll. I could go to tank mode if I felt like I was taking too much damage, which I might do. Because I am taking quite a lot. It's probably from this asshole. Yeah, let's switch out. Am I tank mode? I am. That's awkward. I thought I was already... Oh, I missed this. Special edition action figure, Liartail. Cool. So I'd pulled more than one group. That was probably causing me problems. Alright, listen. Why don't you follow me over here, shall we? Shall we have a fight without the risk of pulling too many dudes? How on earth can he possibly be targeting me when I'm not visible? Look, jump up here, you knobhead. It's not difficult. No, he's lost interest. Alright, well at least he's in a different position now. What? What's going on with his AI? I don't have my toggle form on. Alright, let's see how we do against these guys, shall we? Elevator key. Cool. Hey, what's up with this guy? Can't decide how destroyed he is. He's doing a dance. Scavenge parts from damaged. Oop, that's pulled him. What the hell? Are those necessary for something? Dark Adept's doing me a real mischief, isn't he? Let's put him on nap time. So for whatever reason, it's the Dark Adepts who are... Oh, that's a bunch of them, isn't it? Who are a problem for me, more than anything else. So let's deal with him first. Is there something about the darkness power set that ignores damage reduction or something? Not to my knowledge, unless you are debuffed, but they are tough foes to have increased damage. Yeah, fair enough. It seems like them specifically are giving me a tough time. I wonder why Empyrene constructs are helping. I mean, I know that he's an Empyrene, but he's king of the Lemurians. You have come to Lemuria in our darkest hour. I am Arvad. Until recently I had been the leader of this great undersea land. Perhaps I have not been as kind as I could have been, nor as fair, but I never wanted to see Lemuria come to harm. Now look what these vile Carcharodons have done. They are nearly as despicable as the Lemurian turncoats who overthrew me, and the foul, bleak ones who command them. It is almost painful to see you, for in your heroism I see only my failure and desperation, and the terrible thing I have done. You have found me, but now I fear that it is all too late. Arvad the Empyrene, known to his own kind as Arvad the Betrayer, is an exile from the hidden city of Arcadia, where the godlike Empyrenes dwell. He wandered the earth for thousands of years, sowing conflict merely because he enjoyed watching humans fight. A century ago he came to Lemuria to conquer it, and then used the Empyrenes' ancient enemies as a tool his conquest for power, presumably in his quest for power. When he was overthrown by the return of the Lemurians' old gods, he took a drastic measure, and now the effects of that have shaken him to the core. So, Arvad's not exactly a good guy. Also interesting to note that the pattern on his weird cowl thing is well, this is a costume piece from Teleos and the Teleo clones, and the pattern on it is called, in the character builder, Teleo clone pattern. Senior engineer Trural Clapausius. Lemurian engineer, thanks, that's really helpful. Doomsday clock countdown. Is that going to have a timer? I'll pick up those missions in a bit after I've dealt with everything in here. Yeah, as I was saying, I feel like the dark ones specifically, are doing a lot of damage, even relative to the Dark Adepts, even relative to all the others. Jester horses. Here are the stables, then just as flickering, vibrating horses as one explodes, and here are the unstables. Haha. Arvad's not exactly a good dude, is he? I mean, not that I want his race overthrown and turned to turned to service of the bleak ones, because that's definitely worse. But the whole purpose of him coming to... how many of those do I have? 3. He doesn't even seem to be remotely repentant about the whole wandering around, wandering the earth, causing strife for no reason. Well, the Desert Bus documentary is finally publicly available. DB Twitter just tweeted it. Nice! I've been looking forward to that. I've been wondering about what had happened with it. So I'll watch that at some point. It's going to be a little bit awkward and weird streaming whilst Desert Bus is on, because I want to keep doing it, but I also deeply want to watch Desert Bus. I'm also aware that all the people that know me IRL or through other communities are probably going to be watching Desert Bus ahead of me, which, you know, is fine. I have accrued some number of followers who aren't Loading Ready Run fans necessarily, or who don't know me through that, at least. I thought that it was the 11th it was starting, but I guess that's not correct. I'll need to check the Desert Bus site. Friday the 13th, nice. You know, the thing about Friday the 13th is that it's only considered unlucky because of what it meant before. And I'm not mistaken, their 13th year. Nice, yeah. Yeah, I think it is the 13th year. And the fact that it's Friday the 13th, that it starts in their 13th year, is cool. Is there a Dark Apprentice here? Yes, there is. Or Adept. Okay. So, Friday the 13th used to be Freya's Day. Friday is Freya's Day, just like Thursday is Thor's Day and Wednesday is Woden's Day or Odin's Day. Monday is Moon Day, Sunday is Day of the Sun, Tuesday is Tyr's Day, and 13 was Freya's lucky number, like it was her personal number as a god. And so Friday the 13th was Freya's like super special awesome day. And Freya, on top of being goddess of war in Viking, well, Norse mythology, as most of them were, it seems, Freya was primarily goddess of love and sex. So Friday the 13th to the Vikings was basically sex day. It's like 69 is the sex number for us now. So for Norse people, Friday the 13th was like a day to get it on with whoever you were into, provided they were into you, of course, as well. I mean, not good, but not good how bad people co-opted the Odin name. Yeah, and it was only when the Christians were trying to convert, or starting, or they didn't, it wasn't really trying, they did convert. It was only when the Christians began converting the Scandinavian countries to Christianity, that they really put a huge amount of effort into changing the cultural idea and understanding of Friday the 13th, where previously it had been like day to have lots of sex. They changed it to be day on which nothing good could possibly ever happen, ever. Because Christians, particularly at the time, in I think the 13th, 14th centuries, were very, well, they were Catholic. They were very, very repressed and no fun allowed. And as a result, so Christians decided superstitious things. Yep. I don't think that Christians had anything to do with black cats being considered unlucky, but it wouldn't surprise me in the least if they were. They also hated on all things black aside from clothing somehow. Yeah. I really don't like that black is a synonym for evil. It's reductive and stupid, and there are problematic racial undertones to the idea as well. Not necessarily something that I experience because I'm white and I don't ever have to, like, in the same way that I can't fully understand the experience of being black because I'm not black. Oh good, this doesn't hurt me. Of the liquids that you find at floor level in the game, many of them hurt you, not many don't. Hating on witches and black cats got swept in with both races and witchcraft, I assume. Don't quote me. There was something down there. Ooh! Thank you. I missed that. Well, the whole witchcraft thing is more to do with travel power not working. It's more to do with paganism. Christianity is a very jealous religion. It doesn't let other faiths, it doesn't like other faiths existing alongside it. Certainly old school Christianity. They've chilled out a bit recently and become more open, but Christianity in general doesn't like other faiths, which is one of the reasons I think it really kind of sucks. And it's the reason that Christianity is responsible for a huge amount of destruction of culture. There's a book, Now to Turn Your Slave Christian. Not the actual title, but it was How to Manipulate Slaves Using the Bible. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me in the least. And so, certainly during the Middle Ages, Christianity made a lot of effort put a lot of effort into stamping out not just paganist beliefs, but also like a lot of the people who were branded witches at the time were actually just members of a support community, a support network for communities who used natural, like homeopathic remedies for like healing. They were doctors, they were healers. They formed a network of support for communities that was just other than the church, and the church was very jealous of that as well, because if there are other support networks for people in communities, they don't need religion as much. and they don't need to. They don't have as much reason to come to church. So removing other social social circles and groups forced people to go to church more. I mean, different book than the Bible. It had N-word in it. Using real herbs and stuff like ginger, probably less emphasis on homeopathic stuff. Yeah, I was using probably the wrong word. Homeopathic is probably not correct, but like ye oldie styley remedies, natural remedies that formed the very early basis of medicine as we understand it now. I sent several groups of my remaining loyal engineers after the Bronze King in foolish hope that they could stop it from activating the Mandragora law, but they were attacked by Carcharodons and Lemurian rebels, and now I have lost contact with them. They do not deserve to die for my folly. Find them and free them, and you will have my gratitude. Whispers butt stuff into homeopathic porn paper. Though I have been exiled by my fellow Empirines, I still have several of my personal constructs. I sent them to save my engineers, but they were overwhelmed. If you find any of them, you could repair them. You'll need a repair kit to do so, of course. My engineers have some, but, well, you see the problem. Yeah, I think I've gotten all of the malfunctioning Empirine constructs. Oops. This is a bit difficult when I'm at full speed. Which I think was only 3, but yeah, anyway, enough with this. You must be one of the surface dwellers that I've heard about. Rumors say you've done great work, but if we can't stop the Bronze King, none of it will matter. The Mandragora law has been shut down, and the Bronze King just has to be shut down, and the Bronze King destroyed. King Arvad understands that now, but we can't do it if we can't get inside. Okay. Open door to elevator. Hold on, there was a machine through here, wasn't there? Was I supposed to interact with this? Reactivate water tube. Pumps activated. I assumed that that was helpful in some way. Wow, a lot of dark adepts in here. On. Oh, I took him down. That's annoying. That was an ominous sound. Whoa, I'm way fast. Looks as if the degenerate rebels have damaged the water transport column. You'll need to find another waterway to reach the core if there is any hope. If there is to be any hope of stopping the Bronze King and saving us all. Engineer Clapaucius tells me that there may be a working transport column in the floor below. You'll have to find a way down. Okie dokie. Right, that kind of... my lore senses are tingling. This holographic projection of Arvad has been set up by Engineer Clapaucius to help guide you. Lore around here somewhere, or through the next part? Somewhere near the elevator, sure. Okay, I'll look out for flashing silver bits. Like this, for example. Oh, it's a repair kit. Okay, never mind then. Repair damaged construct. Yes. Systems rebooted. Error. Use of Lemurian tools may result in compromised aesthetics. No prior instruction found. Loading secure area protocol. Okay, well that'll probably be helpful in some way. Given the way the depth charges work, it should be incredibly damaging for me to use Thunderclap underwater. Like, more so than it already is. Having said that, it should be enormously damaging to use electricity underwater as well, because water is more conductive than air. Well, impure water, I should say. Pure water is actually an insulator, but we're clearly not in pure water because salt water is not pure. It's got salt in it. If nothing else. But then altering the way that combat works whilst you're underwater for the game probably would be unnecessarily unfun. Ugh. Just one. How many repair kits I've got now? 4. But I've also got scavenged construct parts, which presumably do something different. Ah, here's a Carcharodon or 2. Ah, there's another kit over in the corner for no reason. Do we ever get any explanation for why the Carcharodons are here? Because, as far as I'm aware, they originate from Multifloria. And so it's odd that they're here. mission from Amphibian, which looks into that. Oh, okay. Wonder why... What unlocks the Amphibian mission? Because I'm pretty sure that I... Stay away from the spinny things. What spinny things? Oh, these spinny things. Do they do lots of damage or something? Yes. Easy contact should be able. Yeah, I've spoken to. I found him, but I mean, I got asked to go and look at Clyphothic portals and collect sludge from those, but I didn't think that like there didn't seem to be, and I was actually paying attention at that time as well. Like, it's not that I went there and just switched off and did the thing. When will you have to spy? Oh, okay. Because like there is a cliff face down here in Lemuria somewhere where you go and there's a bunch of Clyphothic portals that you collect ooze from, and there are Carcharodons hanging out there. But there wasn't any indication from like the mission text that the Clyphothic portals were letting Carcharodons in or anything. It was just, oh hey, this is weird. This is like this reacts with a little spider crystal that you get from Ironclad. These guys are doing a lot of damage to me as well, aren't they? Christ. Well, I'll go back and speak to Amphibian again and see if he's got any more missions for me. Bunch of assholes. Stop throwing me around! so spread out? That's weird. There we go. I was looking for one of those. Is there another one anywhere around here? No. This is taking a while, isn't it? Cut that out. Jesus. I hope when they bite me and I've got my shield up that the electric shield really fucking hurts their teeth and gums. Ah, here we are. Right, knobheads. Don't dick around trying to use Dagger Bolt because they do too much damage. Just use Lightning Storm. Oh wow, I'm amazed that I was allowed to leave whilst I was in the middle of that fight. I wonder whether I should bother going up and finishing it. Maybe? Yeah, I will. Ah, there's some lore. Okay. Carcharodon Holy Slate. We must be on guard in this strange dimension, my Carcharodon brothers. This place is a twisted perversion of our own multifaria, where even those most familiar to us have warped into things almost unrecognizable. There is a destroyer in this dimension, a false destroyer, a being unlike the destroyer we know. The destroyer of this world is a master of science, while the master we serve is a being of darkest sorcery and shadow. Do not be fooled. There is a James Harmon here too, and he is a defender of justice, a heroic champion of the forces of good, and an ally of the hated technical issues. Again, brothers, do not be fooled. I love that. I love it when my name pops up, especially in this context, particularly. Like, if it wasn't initialized, it would seem like they were raging against technical issues like you would run into with, technology. Clearly, this is a world of aberrance and deviance. It is our duty to raise this world, to let our master remake it in the image of the great and terrible multifaria. James Harmon, for those who don't know, is the secret identity of Defender, who is kind of like a non-alcoholic Iron Man, whose color scheme is...
Will die before it bows to the Bleak Ones.
Use the Mandragolor. It will make the Bronze King vulnerable.
What the fuck was I saying? Right, yes. Defender is a bit like Iron Man, only his colour scheme is blue and white rather than red and gold. Teehee, come and get me. Guys, what's going on over here? We found a nerd to bully. Give us your lunch money, technician man. I like being humanoid, and I don't want to go back. Yeah, fair enough. Although, I mean, I would call these humanoid as well. Like, humanoid for me, in my own internal lexicon, means having a head on the top with a torso and 2 arms and 2 legs. And the arms come off the torso at the top, and the legs come off the torso at the bottom. That's humanoid. Addition of a tail is unusual, but I think still falls within humanoid. Even the Kular are humanoid, even if they are also insectoid. Very convenient if you chaps could, like, come and bunch up on me. Let's go and use the door, shall we? Bottleneck them. Is it just me, or does their costume, like their colour scheme, seem reminiscent of lionfish? They're not using poison, which would be more on theme for lionfish. They're using electricity, but I mean, really, if you wanted lionfish, you'd probably want to go with claws and poison, because one of the martial claws abilities, you can take an advantage that causes it to deal poison damage. I don't know what energy unlock you'd use. I suppose it would depend on whether you went for melee or ranged combat as a preference. What do you want, Arvad? This is the focusing control chamber. The control panels you see can be used to adjust the focus of the Mandragora into the central chamber instead of outwards up the amplification tower. Do that and you'll be able to use the Mandragora against the Bronze King without destroying the world. Yeah, that seems handy. All of them have been interacted with. Oh no, maybe not. Oh yeah, okay. I wonder what it is that's making that thump noise. Like a drum being struck. Repairs commencing. Materials Lemurian. Status distasteful but adequate. Magical constructions built by the Empyreans, a race of immortals who have been at war with Lemuria for tens of thousands of years. Break out the heavy artillery on this colossal construct and avoid basic attacks, and be sure to block or you'll be drained of endurance and then life. Do you ever get to unlock that weird helmet design? Because everything else is, more or less everything else is available. Like the glove design and the bracers and the shoulders, the chest armor, the subliger. I'm not sure about the leg armor though. I mean, it's a bit more lumpy than you can usually get. I'm not sure what boots those are. Yes, some variant of it at least. Okay, fair enough. Cool. You can dress up like an Empirene. Hi, chaps. So I was trying out building a claws character earlier, and I was trying to make a Kular, and discovered that the chitin chest armor can't be made metal or metallic, which seems odd when all the other pieces of chitinous armor that you can get for characters can be made metallic. Just seems odd that one of the biggest pieces would not be missing a material type. What room are we in here then? These arcane furnaces are used to power the Mandragore's main firing sequence. The Bronze King is currently siphoning that power using the power rerouters. Destroy them, or else the Mandragore will overload when fired, killing us all. Or at least all you, Lemuria, and a good section... Oh, come on. Idiot construct. Where have these guys come from? Can't appreciate the surprise party. I'm usually the surprise party. I wonder whether these elemental masters are female Lemurians. It would be, because they're the larger ones, aren't they? They're on the larger side. They would be in line with the same theme that we've seen earlier, with the progenitors being female, or at least being egg-laying. And when you devolve recently, or rather when you evolve recently devolved progenitor model Lemurians, they turn into female cursed or evolved Lemurians. And it's in line with other reptiles. I mean, as far as I'm aware, generally speaking, reptiles, females are larger than males. So it would make sense if the elemental masters, the ones that look a bit like lionfish, if you squint, could be female. So these arcane furnaces are used to power the Mandragor's main firing sequence. The Bronze King is currently siphoning that power using the power rerouters. Destroy them, or else the Mandragor will overload when fired, killing us all. Or at least all you, Lemuria, and a good section of the planet. As an immortal Empyrene, I'll survive, but that doesn't mean I won't feel bad. Power override conduit. I assume that we need to destroy these. Oh, whatever. It's done now. Oh, that's odd. I thought we'd feed enough of these guys. Surprised there's still one chilling out here. Surrounded by bullies. Seem to be electrocuting her crotch. That's got to be painful, isn't it? And more have spawned in. Let's deal with them so that they're not a problem later. You chaps want to see lightning? Real lightning? Here we are. Kinky. Well, probably a bit beyond kinky. Given the quantity of electricity being involved. Where do they keep coming from? Are they spawning in just through this door? Anyway. Oh, hello. Surprise! No, come on. Gather up around me. Don't dick about. Spread out. That's not helpful to me at all. Ugh. I'll be very annoyed if being thrown around like this causes me to pull extra more of them. That'd be super annoying. I think there might be lore here too. Cool. I'll look out for it. Is that the Bronze King? Yeah, there's open sealed orders. Wow, immediately pulled all of these dudes. Well, it's just about 11 o'clock. I think I'll at least fight the Bronze King. I don't know how long the fight will take, but it would be a bit too much like a cliffhanger if I stopped here. Not especially fond of cliffhangers. If I'll get help from this Empyrean construct when he gets close enough to notice. Yes, there we go. Splendid. Probably won't pull any aggro from me, but at least the extra damage will help. Wow. How'd it feel to get blasted around, Nobed? These are odd steps, aren't they? They're not really... I mean, they're stepped, but they're sloped very significantly. Come on, come and get me. Come out of the gears, you weirdo. There we go. Let's find out what this room is supposed to be. This is the firing chamber. The last time ancient Lemurian Mystech priests tried to use the Mandragora law, it nearly destroyed them. This time we have to use it to weaken the Bronze King, or face an even worse cataclysm when it overloads. Engineer Clapausius tells me that you should be able to use the Mandragora law's power roughly every 2 minutes to weaken the Bronze King. The beam won't be as powerful as it would be if it were focused through the crystals of the tower, but he still recommends you try to avoid it yourself. Fair enough. Written on waterproof paper, these orders are meant for the leader of the Carcharodons within the Mandragora law. Commander, the Master commands your Kalkaradan forces to realign the Mandragore's focusing crystals to target the Temple of the Rastron Far. When you receive the command, you are to fire on the Bleak Temple. Obliterate their place of power, and those who dwell in bleakness will be vulnerable. Will at last be vulnerable. Then they must do as our master orders, or remain trapped in their prison forever. Seems like a bad idea. I mean, we'll find out what happens when we do the adventure pack that has us deal with the bleak ones. We'll find out what happens to presumptive mortals who think to give orders to the bleak ones. Hint, it doesn't go well for the foolish mortal. Fire the Mandragore. I'm probably only going to be able to manage to do this once. Need to have both control panels active in order to fire the Mandragore. Yeah. Wonder what the information on the Bronze King is. And why is he crying? A combination of magic and technology, the Bronze King is a mobile suit inhabited by the souls of many Lemurian priests and one Lemurian king. He's going mad as the result of such a split consciousness. He is under Arvad's control these days. He contains a wealth of historical knowledge, if you can just get to it. Also, he's quite deadly. You'd think you'd lead with that? I don't think they're quite close enough together to use the AoE lightning power on them, unfortunately. A little bit annoying, but oh well. Thankfully, dicking around here doesn't pull the Bronze King. I think there might be... I can't remember if they respawn or not. Well, I mean, as long as I don't have to keep coming back to these and turning them on again, it shouldn't be an issue whether they respawn or not. And, well, also provided that they don't... come and join in the fight. I'm not hit anything with that. This is taking a while, isn't it? They probably made it so that it takes so long that you can't really manage to do it in combat with any reasonable reliability. Not solo anyway. You have to have... Oh, come on. Oh, they don't stay active for long, do they? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that I'm not gonna be able to get these activated. Port in and join up. I've never seen it fire before. Well, I mean, it might require 3 people. Although it does seem as though I would have enough time to swim across and activate it. Sure, if you don't mind. And also the extra help against the Bronze King would be appreciated. But yeah, I would quite like to see what this looks like when it fires. Is that an extra face stuck to the side of his head? A bird face. Looks like it. And is that a bear? Okay. I thought it was a pair of wonky horns or like tusks or something, but no, it's a bird, a human, and a bear face. I've obviously been in here as well, haven't I? And this is presumably the door that the Bronze King came in through, because I can't imagine that any of the other doors would fit him. Technology. Nice. No idea how long this fight's going to take either. I mean, that's a manageable amount of health. It's only 350,000. Could be worse. Punji stick trap. I've got a device for creating punji stick traps. Lays down a punji stick trap that will inflict piercing damage and a speed and travel power debuff against foes who stray too close. How about I try using the punji trap on the Bronze King? How many uses has it got? 3 charges, okay. I can try. Yeah, I don't even know whether the punji trap, like, would be well, because okay, maybe this isn't actually, it's Punji stick trap, not Punji pit trap. Everywhere else that I've ever seen the term punji used is punji pit. So a punji pit is you dig a small pit and line it with spikes of some kind, depending on the environment, and then cover it so that it's a drop trap, basically. I think punji pit is more generally, like, specifically about, like, sharpened bamboo stakes. Yeah, that's what it spawns. Except, well, this doesn't spawn a pit. It spawns spikes that stick up flat from the ground. So I was going to say, I don't know that his feet are small enough to fit inside of a standard punji pit, but if the punji stick trap doesn't actually create a pit, then it won't matter. Override all control panels, 2 of 4. Huh. Are there... extra... because I can see some of them. There's 2... of these through here that need activating. Before you leave, there's 2... I just saw you go past. Which room have you gone to now? There. Do you mind going back and activating 2 consoles? Thank you. I swear that I activated them, but it seems that... no, maybe you have to have the mission. Already has. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'll come back and do it then, because I've got the repair kits. Can't leave. I'll leave current map. And then come back in through the front door, I guess. It wasn't letting me leave the door, leave the room. Every time I tried to open the door, it just took me back to being in front of the Bronze King again. Some Carcharodons spawned back in, it seems. Oops. Right, here we are. Or maybe I missed them the first time somehow? Line. I thought I'd done this already. That's completed a mission. Found one kit. Yeah, they're dotted around. They might respawn actually. Or I may have missed one. Because we're on the end here. it's completed and disappeared from my mission list. So hopefully, despite the fact that I only repaired one, or you interacted with one, hopefully it will work. Probably should have coordinated. Well, that's on. I'll swim around. Okay. I don't know how much lag there is, but on 1, 3, 2, 1. Well, that was after 1. Oops. Oh well. And then you're closer, so if you swim back and hit the control there, hopefully we'll have enough time to fire the thing. What a big load of nothing. Are you supposed to have a tank that holds him in place? Lures him in and holds him in place? Okay, well, I appreciate you coming and trying to do it.
The power of Lemuria, and I am its rage.
There we go, there's the punji pit, or the punji trap. It's more of a thicket of spikes, really. Launching a bunch of brains against him. And dinosaurs. Interesting. I assume it's a device that's launching the brains, or maybe it's him. Maybe it's one of his attacks. That would probably make more sense. I thought maybe it was you, but then it's not an attack that I've seen anyone else use, which is why I thought maybe it was a device. But he seems to be partially psychic. Which makes sense if he's a collection of different minds and souls in one body. I don't know how easy this would be if you were on your own. You'd probably want to be a very resilient, probably quite a tanky build if you were trying this on your own, because he certainly seems to be as tough as like White Rhino. He's got about the same amount of health, at least. Definitely, yeah. So doing this solo is probably only possible if you are built correctly for it. I probably could manage solo. This is going faster than if I was doing it solo, and that's thanks to Raven Force, or, well, playing technology, which I really appreciate. go, that's my last punji pit. Punji trap. Come on, trigger it this time. Yep, there we go, he's walked through it. I don't know whether that has triggered it or not. Has he summoned mobs? Oh, okay. Well, as long as we don't pull them, it shouldn't be an issue. They are oddly bunched up, aren't they? I presume that they're an impediment for if you're trying to repeatedly use the Mandragora Law, like if you were doing this on a team and you had a tank hold in position over in the corner over here for some reason, rather than directly firing on him. That seems a bit cheap, doesn't it? Like, he's waiting in position directly under this big old crystal here. And there isn't any reason to assume that the crystal will fire off in a direction rather than directly down. Oh, he's having a headache. Brain freeze, perhaps. There we go. Ooh. Silver champion recognition. Very nice. And they've disappeared. Did you deal with them? That would have been quite quick. And there's another one up there. No, they disappeared. Except for the one who's floating about up here for some reason. Got lost or something. So, I mean, this is the longest of the crystals. And apparently it focuses its attack over here. Or maybe it moves around or something. I don't know. But try it again? Nah. Oh, what, firing it again? Yeah, okay. Let's see whether it... fires in a different position. Oops, I didn't activate it. I had left before it had... Sorry. It's because I didn't switch it on. We didn't have them on at the same time. This has got a cooldown as well, so if you've... The option is gone. Yeah, it's got a cooldown, so it will... There we go. Hopefully they will overlap. No. We need to actually... Okay, so don't activate it yet. Wait until this is stopped glowing green. Okay. So after 1, 3, 2, 1. Bit of lag, yeah. We managed it before. Okay, if you do it now, I'll leave a few second gap and then start. Oh, that's a good idea. Use clap. Okay. It'd be good to know exactly how long of a gap there is between, or how much lag there is. So if I use Thunderclap and then wait a couple of seconds and then arm the Mandragore, hopefully they'll overlap for long enough. Hey! The option to fire is definitely gone. Okay. Well. Oh well. Thanks anyway. Yes. The Mandragore has experienced has undergone the technical issues experience. Experiencing technical issues. I can't hand in here, so let's go back up, shall we? Oh well. So I have no idea whether the Mandragore. I've just realised it would probably be quicker if I exited and then went back in through the front door. If the goal is to, oh, that might reset the mission, so I don't think that I will risk it. I assume that's a patrol I missed before. I can't be bothered dealing with them now. It looks like the repair kits respawn. Yeah, so... Why is... Turn to... Oh, Baal Wrath the Blasphemer. Oh, I don't even need to be in here to complete the mission. Ah, cool, thanks. Reading the mission explains the mission. Right. Well, I think that's it for today's stream. I'm just going to go and check at the amphibian to see if he's got any more missions. But, oh no, he does. Okay. Thanks again for the stream. No worries. So he has actually got a bunch of missions that I just completely missed, I guess, last time I was here. So thank you for prompting me to check, or I would have missed them entirely. I also need to come to a guy over here to hand in the mission Doomsday Clock Countdown, which I guess I'll do now. Good Mistech engineers are hard to find. You have my thanks, technical issues. Huh. What mission is this? Safely to Sea Lab. I fled the Mandragore to seek help for Prince Arvad, but these Calcaridons are everywhere. Oh, right. Oh, I've already done that. I think that's what it looks like when missions are shared with you. But yes, I've already done that one. I've done some missions for the amphibian already. So I guess next time on Friday I will pick these 4 up. Leave team. So thank you to Ravenforce playing Technology for coming and helping out there. And thank you to everyone who has watched. I appreciate all of you. Whether you talk in chat or not, thank you to Digital Seahorse and to Ravenforce for talking to me and giving me things to react to, because I am feeling a little bit low on energy today, I guess. Not talked as much as previously. Not been quite as vocal. So thank you for giving me things to bounce off of and react to. Anyway, this is 35 minutes over time. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you... Well, I don't want to say it. I hope to see you next time. That's up to you. I hope that you want to, but maybe life will get in the way. Who knows? Friday's not here yet. We won't see. So, anyway, until next time, whenever that happens to be, good night.